How many miles have we driven today, Justin?
No idea.
235 miles.
Us?
In this video, we're going to talk about what to expect in a Kansas public land turkey hunt. I myself had never been to Kansas until last spring. I turkey hunted in some other states and have been doing that since 2020. So, hunting out of state is not foreign to me, but hunting turkeys in Kansas was something new and a great experience. Okay, so we were hunting Rios in Kansas, and it was a really great time. Now we didn't have as many days to put in as I would like to have. We actually only hunted for 4 days, so full time we was gone 6 days from the time we left to the time we got back. Um, and what we ran into in Kansas was a lot of driving. Now I picked an area to hunt that last year, which would have been 2023. You could get two birds in, so that might give away where we was at. But just giving you a little bit of context here. There was a fair amount of public land, and I tried to stay. I stayed. I mean, we were in Airbnb, kind of in the middle of all these either walking hunting areas or uh, public game lands, whatever you want to call them. And we done a pile of driving. Basically, what we do is, and it's kind of our plan of attack anytime we go to a new area, is just first day, daylight, we hit the road. We try to go to all these different spots we've hit as far as online scouting and just look at them from the road. Get our spot and scope or binoculars on it, whatever. Try to look for people and turkeys. If we see a ton of trucks, we just I wouldn't say we totally mark it off, but it's 3/4 of the way we're going to mark that spot off. Some people may not like that idea. They're like, well, they're hunting there for a reason because they're turkeys. Well, that is true, but if there's turkeys there and they know they're there, those people might be there every day and they might be your competition. So we wanted and still do to find turkeys that people are not hunting. So in 2 days, we clocked a little bit over 400 miles on my car. And that was tiring, but we covered a ton of ground, marked off a ton of spots, and we found about four different groups of turkeys that we thought we could hunt. And our plan of attack, not just in Kansas but other states, is to have a group of turkeys to hunt in the morning and then have a different group of turkeys to hunt in the evening. That way, we're not over pressuring them. And if you booger some, you still got some other turkeys to go hunt. And in Kansas, what we ran into was a lot of the walk-in hunting areas um, were, I don't want to say empty of turkeys, but it was not the best turkey habitat as far as the areas where we were at. And what I mean by that is a lot of those spots were like an irrigation pivot, or it was a field that had been some sort of uh, crop the year before, and it was just basically nothing. Now, the neighbors had really great habitat, and the walk-in hunting area may have been like a place where turkeys were crossing, or somewhere they were coming to dust or to water, or they were coming there to pick in some of the, I guess it would be like overseed grain or grass that they had sowed from last fall. So it it was awesome, and I'll show you. We did get excuse me, well, tongue tied. We did get one of our kills on film, and this spot was a place that you could not see from the road anywhere. Okay, road frontage wise, it was a long, narrow track of walk-in hunting area. The front, I don't know if they've been loading or unloading grain in this area or whatever, but it was just like beat to the ground, just solid dirt. You could see some tall trees further in the back, but you couldn't see anything else. It was kind of like a slope. And it looked like on the map that there was a big field over the hill. And it was like a 600-yard walk, which really ain't nothing, but out there it kind of was for people. And there's like an irrigation ditch. I don't know what they call them, but it's just kind of like a ditch where water will drain if there's out there. So we was able to get down in that and hide ourselves, get around this hill, and sure enough, we peek up, and I think there was four gobblers. Could have been three, but I know for sure it was three, but could have been four. We'll say that, and a bunch of hens. So we did not booger them that evening. We backed out and we said, we'll be right back here in the morning. So, in this clip I'm going to show you, this is the place where we killed this bird at. And it was awesome. It was away from the road. And the way those turkeys looked to me, that they had not even been hunted that year. They were just doing their own thing out in the day. And when the place where we killed this bird the next morning, they were just doing their same routine that they had the morning before when we saw them. So that was a really big home run we hit there. Did kill two birds off of an irrigation pivot, and the way we hunted those birds were, we saw them there late one evening from the road, and I think I got a picture of that. I'll try to put in here. And we didn't hunt them that evening. We just watched them. We saw where they went and went to roost, and we thought those birds were just in their normal pattern, that they hadn't been hunted, and that they would be there every evening until they were busted up, or we got one killed. So we go into this place like 2 hours before we'd seen these turkeys come into this field. And as soon as we peek over the rise, and by rise I mean it was a hill pretty high up compared to this pivot, and I'll post a picture of that too. The turkeys are already in the field. They beat us there. And we didn't know they were in the field because we came in a back way to this property, because we was afraid, well, if we come around, we'll spook the turkeys, or whatever. So I don't think we would have bothered them all. So there's a good lesson. Those turkeys really aren't bothered by vehicles if they're a long ways away. At least they weren't in our experience. So we literally had to belly crawl and single file behind trees, and one person get to where they could watch a group of turkeys, and then motion the other one. And we actually harvested two jakes. If killing jakes really ain't your thing, then you're probably not going to enjoy watching my hunts or films or whatever. Because I think if you've got the tag in your pocket and the state allows you to kill a Jake, you need to take him. Um, Now, I'm not always going to shoot a Jake, but if I'm out of state and I got a tag in my pocket, that's the only thing showing up, that's what I'm going to shoot. So we harvested two Jakes that evening out of a big gob of turkeys. Had a great time. Okay, now there was another place we was hunting that we were seeing turkeys and turkey tracks, and it was just beautiful. Like it literally looked like something off of like a real tree hunting show or anything else you can imagine. It was just absolutely beautiful. And what we found out was that it drew a lot of attention from other hunters because you could see it. You come around this curve up on this hill, this big giant bottom laid out in front of you, oak trees, creeks. Um, it just drew too much attention to hunters. It just looked too appealing. And we actually watched two gobblers fight and try to breed a hen at the same time in this big long bottom that I'm talking about. So we devised this plan to come around behind them and we're going to come up on them and we're going to shoot these two turkeys and it's going to be a hole in one. We're going to have all of our tags notched and we're going to drive back to Virginia. Well, we get down this bottom. The turkeys are nowhere to be seen. We see a literal truckload of other hunters coming in the back end of this field. There's another truck that comes around the curve up above us, like looking down in this bottom. And then we hear a truck door slam out behind us. So those three turkeys caught the attention of like for sure four groups of hunters. That's including us. And there could have been more. We never saw the turkeys once we got in the field. Don't know where they went. They probably got busted up by one of us four groups of hunters. So that spot was beautiful. But there was a lot of hunters. So if you see a spot that just looks so gorgeous, and you can see a lot of it from the road, expect to see other hunters. They'll be there. And I say for turkeys, they're going to hunt it, but I would expect you to have company. Um, you know, Kansas is an awesome state. I've hunted from east to west. If you've never been, you should go. Now you've got to apply to get those turkey tags. I think it's a good thing. It might limit the number of hunters and the pressure on the birds. And anyway, it's a good gig if you can draw one of those turkey tags. Kansas is a beautiful state. I think you should go. You will see people, but man, hunting Rios is awesome. They're a beautiful bird. It's a great experience. In fact, there's actually a fan off of one of the jakes that we killed. Go for it. Try to get you a grand slam. It's a good time. Get you a buddy, a vehicle, full tank of gas, and some snacks, and you'll have a great time. But anyway, yeah, go for it. Try it. You'll love it.